So some of the footwork variations that you could use are the power front hook, the fading hook, the pivot hook, and the flying hook. So the power front hook, you're going to step forward onto the right foot into a side stance, or a side neutral stance, we call it in Wing Chun. And the hook is transferring from the left leg to the right leg. So you'll end up in like a right lunge on the right leg. So as I step forward onto the right foot, I'm going to unload the hook. Like so. Quite often guys will throw an uppercut from the side stance with the right hand. As I said before, Tyson quite likes being in the side stance and doing his right front hook and his right uppercut from the side stance. So you can land here and launch from here as well. And it's that plant and pivot thing, is I land, I plant the right leg, and then I can pivot and launch stuff off the right leg as well. So the fading hook is generally going to be a wide hook, because you're moving backwards. Why would you throw a tight hook? It doesn't make sense. Unless you're already really close, like in the clinch or something, and he's pushing towards you and you step back and like take that hand off and throw the hook like that. You're generally going to throw a wide hook, because if you're moving backwards as he moves forward, you're going to need range on it. It's going to be that 3-2 kind of range, yep. So the fading hook, your back foot will turn almost square. The back foot's square, and then this one still pivots, but it's going to fade, alright? So both feet slide backwards, alright? You can sort of stomp the back foot and slide, but the important thing is that you turn both feet sideways, so you get that rotation. If I just step back and go like that, see, there's no power, I'm just punching from the arm. The idea is that all your punches should come from core rotation. That's why we do this stuff with the medicine balls and the plates and that sort of thing. It's to get your abs firing like that. So besides strength, we need explosive speed and rotation through the core. So for the fading hook, I'm going to step, rotate the core, unload the hook, probably follow up with a cross, or depending on how fast he's gaining on you, fade, kick, fade, front kick if you got room, or fade knee if he's nice and close. So the pivot hook, you generally do this if they step in and throw a cross. If they're coming this way, and you're going to pivot out to the side and catch him. I generally do it as a tight hook, because I'll be quite close if I pivot in there. Like I'm not going to pivot at a range where I'm further away. Like generally it's close. Mikey from here does it. He does it with the long hook. He generally makes that decision a little bit earlier than I do. As you pivot, it's an inside pivot in boxing, very common inside pivot. You're going to unload the hook, and you need to close that gap quickly because you're close, yeah? Because you're in close when you're doing your pivot hook. So you're going to boom and cover. Boom and cover. It's the same footwork as you would for the left rip for your liver punch. If you're going to crack, you're going to throw that low there. Like that. Now, people say that you should never cross your feet. You should never cross your feet. Now, this does look like you're crossing your feet. It looks like the foot's coming behind, but it's actually not. I'm in the same stance, all right? So I'm here, I pivot. See, I'm here, I'm square. It looks like you're crossing them, but it's not, okay? People say never cross the feet, it makes it easier to take down. But then also guys do this, they step the left foot in front. It's crossing the feet, it's the same thing. You don't want to do that. If you move to the right, you move to the right foot, you get into a slightly wider stance and close it. Slightly wider stance and close it. Why? From a wider stance, I can still attack. If I move my left foot in front and I'm in this short stance, I can't attack. I have to adjust, and then I'm good to go, right? So, never cross your feet, never cross your feet. Don't move the front foot. Move the right foot to go right, left foot to go left, front foot to go front, back foot to go back. There are exceptions to the rule. If you're going to switch stance, you can step all the way through and step over. In that respect, if you know how to fight southpaw and orthodox, totally cross your feet, as long as you know how far away you are. You wouldn't do it in close range because you'll be off balance, and you don't want to get hit when you're in a narrow stance. So the flying hook. Now to make this work, you need to jump and your feet need to point 45 degrees backwards, okay? So from, if facing forwards 12 o'clock, you're going to turn to like 4 o'clock, all right? So as I jump, I'm going to spin, rotate my hips back, and that's going to give me the rotation through the punch. I pretty much always follow it with a cross, just because it straightens you up. If I'm facing all the way back here and then I launch across, I'm back here. Generally, I'll use the flying hook with a cross. You can use it with an uppercut, it just depends how close you are, yeah? I don't like using the uppercut because I like to throw the uppercut from having my back hip down. So if I jump, my back hip's not down, it's up, yeah? So generally, I'll throw the cross. Jump, jump, okay? The flying hook is an excellent entry technique, which means that you're gonna make a decision from the entry technique, okay? That's what entry technique is. It's not just the attack. Like the Superman punch is an attack, it's also an entry technique to get into the pocket and then make a decision from there. Your Superman punch might be a bit obvious, so once the guy, you know, deals with that, then you're gonna throw a left uppercut or something, or you're gonna shoot from there, you know what I mean? Like, but, and then make a decision based on what he does from there. So that's what an entry technique is. The other thing I use the flying hook for is to just get the collar tie. Like if they shell up, when you throw the hook, boom, and you just grab the back of his head, and then the dirty clinch from there. And you've got takedowns from the collar tie, of course, as well, especially if you're a wrestling guy. We use that a lot here, the flying hook, grab the back of the head, and then I'll do the outside pivot. I'll step backwards so the guy falls a little bit, and I'll throw him a couple of uppercuts. So flying hook, grab the back of the head. As I pull him forward by the neck, I'll throw a couple of uppercuts. And then while they're off balance doing this, I'll generally grab the legs and rip and run from there. So whichever ones you're using, you need to be aware of the range. If you're using a tight hook, you're in CM2 range, so you're in boxing range. So if you're throwing a high hook, it's gonna open up the body there. So it's good to couple that with the 7. So you got your 7 and 3 together. The way you do that is by reloading the hip. Yeah, this thing I was saying about core rotation. Yeah. So you're going to be like, snap, snap. It's from here. There's no point doing it with your arm. You may as well just wait till it gets tight. Seriously, there's no point. But if you're going to crack like that, you want to be whipping this left hip in and out. So if you're at long range, your kicks are good. Know that your kicks are there. This uppercut is useless. There's no point. There's no point throwing it from there. You're not going to throw like a nice long hook and then an uppercut. Unless the guy takes 2 steps. Unless he's just coming at you. Know your range. It's actually the most important thing. The best fighters in every discipline are guys that know their range. There's a video of Machida where he runs in and he does a Bagua takedown. So he kicks out the back of the guy's leg and he does like a chop like this. So essentially what he does is from like a far away range, he runs in and goes like that and just chops the guy over. It's ridiculous. It's like impossible. But he's just very aware of the range. He knows the attacks the guy can do at each range. He gets past the kicking range. The dude goes, oh crap, I can't kick. And as the guy's thinking about doing the punch, Machida's already there. He's already taken him off his feet. It's because he knows his range. He's an excellent example of a fighter that knows his range. He's always just out of range, and when he's in, he commits, and then he exits. Very, very aware of his range. Anderson Silva, very relaxed, hands down. It's because he knows that he's not in range of being attacked. That's why he does that stuff. He knows how far away the guy is. Contact range, shell range, and no problem. This kind of out here range, nothing. You don't need your hands up. The way that we do it here is we have your kickboxing Muay Thai range, a bit of shell for when you're in close, and then when you go back further, drop your hands. Give it a minute. You can relax. The guy's not going to hit you. Just relax. Your arms are going to get tired from holding them up all the time. So you're in here, you're at this range, you're at this range, and then you're in the clinch. So we got those problems there. Completely different problems.